Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, year 8. Hope you are well. Some of those Sweeney Todd costumes were absolutely fantastic. Absolutely brilliant, and it was really good. Lots of you challenged yourselves, and you really thought about how to get kind of your artistic stamp onto those designs while still keeping within keeping that historical context, so that we knew it was kind of that Victorian era, which was really, really good. I was absolutely blown away with some of them. Your justifications were really good as well. I really liked how you had thought about it. Showed you had done the work and you had clearly thought about why you were doing the designs the way you were doing, and lots of you clearly had shown you had done research and knew those characters. So this week we're going to look at set design. Okay, so we're going to look at set design. I want you to have a think. What is set design? Okay, keep thinking. What is set design? I think I've spelled that wrong. We'll have a look. So, do you think we know what set design is? Yeah, absolutely right. So, set design is how the stage is made to look like where the play is set. Okay, so it's where the actors perform, and it shows the set is the space where the actors perform, which communicate the setting and things to the audience. Now, there is a YouTube video I'm also going to link for you to watch about set design. Okay, there's several different elements to this. Now, it may take you longer. Some of you may wish to spend a bit longer on it. So obviously next Monday I'm going to be uploading next week's lesson. If you need a bit longer, just drop me or your teacher an email, and that's absolutely fine. Okay, so remember, well, you know, everything's all a bit weird at the minute, isn't it? It's all a bit different. So you've got to do and manage your time with what's right for you and your families and your situation at the minute. All right? Okay. So I'm giving you options of what you can do. So some of you may want to fly with this. Some of you may not want to. Okay. At the minute, that's it. What fits with you and what's going on. So. Set design. Okay, I've got my amazing book that I absolutely love. Oh, it looked like, what play is that? Oh, Emil and the Detectives. Looked like the Titfield Thunderbolt. That was a play I was in. I mentioned that in a minute. So, right, let's have a look. Where are we to? Lighting. Here we go. Okay, so it sets the scene. That's why it's called set. Okay, so set, short for setting the scene. Okay, scene sounds a bit like scenery, doesn't it? Okay, so you can see where those words are coming from. So the set is an incredibly important part of the director and designer's vision for the play. Now, remember I said that they discuss, they have production meetings every week where the designers and the directors discuss the overall vision for the play. Now, the director has the overall vision. The director will probably meet individually with the designers as well. Now, for a director, the set design is incredibly important, because it's a large scale that the audience are going to see and take meaning from. Okay, everything else, every element is important because it all works together. Okay, but one of the big things is, particularly for a director, is that set. So there'll be lots of discussions between the set designer, the director, and then the people that are going to make it. Okay, I mean, the director may have a really crazy idea and be like, oh, I want this big bear on the stage, and actually health and safety, practicalities, it's not really going to be that appropriate to have the bear just freely wandering around. Okay, so it's one of the first things to be discussed, because it's quite a long task, because you've got to either source pieces of set, make pieces of set. So it's one of the first things that needs to be discussed, as the look of the stage defines the play's place and atmosphere. Okay, so remember, we're constantly creating a mood and atmosphere, and this is where the set comes into all of that. Okay, the set is the thing that's really unlocking that world. The stage design helps tell the audience everything from when and where the play is set to the big ideas it is exploring. Sometimes the director and designer might decide to stage a play with very little scenery, just lighting and costume. Okay, remember, like that Robin Hood? Yeah, so the Robin Hood that we watched from Off Balance, that they didn't have any set except for that tiny little board that they acted on, didn't they? Yeah, and that board was their set. That's where they went into it. When they stood on it, they went into the world, and then when they came out, they'd come out of the world. The set design will influence how the actors think about their parts, and it influences how they move around the stage. So I think we've done an awful lot about how the actors use space. Okay, so how do they use that stage? We're thinking now, if we've got bits of set on it, how do the actors move around and interact with those bits of set? Okay, so this is what you need to... No, I'm sorry, Yuri, I'm jumping ahead for myself. I'm going to tell you what the set is and what it communicates first, rather than what you need to do. So let's rewind back. So your set design, or the set design, communicates to the audience every single thing that the audience sees on the stage. Okay, from every single actor, every single entrance, every single exit, every piece of costume, every bit of set, every prop, every lighting change, every sound they hear. Okay, it all says something to them, it all communicates something to them. So set design must show to the audience the setting, where's the place set, right? So, you know, if we take Off Balance, for example, they had their board, and the way they interacted with their acting on the board told us that that board was set in Sherwood Forest. Okay, the time period, okay, I've been a bit weird and called it historic period. That's to go in with the historic context from last lesson. Communicate the themes and symbols. So that's where the bit I've read to you out of the book about the big idea, that's it, communicating the big idea to you. What is the big message that director's trying to get across and the people in the play are trying to get across? So, for example, like Curious Incident of the Dog in the Nighttime, one of the big things they're trying to get across is how sort of things that we take for granted, sort of people who aren't autistic, things they take for granted for Christopher and for some people who are autistic, but even people in general, maybe if they've got anxiety or something else, for them, things in the world that some people take for granted, for them is really challenging. Okay, and it showed us that in how the we didn't really look at it, but how the set is designed for that ties in with themes like those. So it needs to be able to interact with other production elements. Lighting is the big one it needs to interact with, and also the actors. Actors are clumsy, so we need to take that into account in our set designs, especially if you have children in a play, around a play. I remember my White Witch sleigh. Actually, the one at school I directed, it broke, but that was trying to get it on the stage. That was an accident. But kids playing on it broke it when I was playing the White Witch. But how does it interact with the actors, the lighting, costume, sounds? Okay, maybe bits of props. It needs to support the performance style. Now, I suddenly realised that for us, we were looking at contemporary. We were looking at three sorts as well, weren't we? So style of performance, naturalistic. Okay, remember what was naturalistic? That was a slice of, no, not cake, slice of life. No, slice of cake would be very nice. Slice of life, so it's actually like life on stage. Stylised, representative. Contemporary, quite modern. Okay, so your design needs to reflect that. Now, year 8, this is what you need to do. You've got a sheet. I will put it into a Google sheet as well, so you've got different options. If you haven't got a printer, just do it on a bit of paper. Okay, so the minimum thing I want you to do is a ground plan. Right, so we've got 2 options here that we're going to do. All right, you can see, I haven't got right, I don't know how to edit the videos properly. Oh, well, that needs to go. There we are. This is what we want. Right, so this is what I want you to do here. This is a ground plan. So it's a bird's eye view, okay, of the stage. So you can imagine, like, well, actually, no, with you guys, I want you to be thinking about the different staging configurations that we have looked at. Okay, so we have looked at, we've got proscenium march, like Bristol Hippodrome. We have looked at traverse. Okay, so we did that with slow motion, and the Railway Children was traverse. All right, let's show you those and then we'll go back to that. Okay, so remember, here's an example of proscenium march. It's that got like the orchestra bit there, there's the audience, and it's there. Remember, it's also an end on. Traverse, like the catwalk, audience at either side. Can you remember that from Railway Children? Any of you been to the Tobacco Factory? That's a round. We have done that one as well. All right, so that's a round, so the audience are sat all around the outside. Okay, quite an interesting one. The round, the Tobacco Factory do stuff really, really well. You've got thrust, where you've got this bit that sticks out at the front. Okay, and we've also got promenade. Now that'd be an interesting one. We could do Sweeney Todd in a promenade form. That'd be quite interesting. So the audience walk around in that. So you could have little areas, maybe in the drama studio. You could have one area as the barber shop, and then an area here is Mrs. Lovett's pie shop, and then maybe like and the audience move around during the scenes. That would be quite an interesting. How could you do the design for that? Okay, so let's go back. So thinking about the different areas of the stage, I want you to come up with a set design. You've got a mind map to do first. Now what I would do is a little bit of research. I would type in on Google, to the search engine, Sweeney Todd set design, and see what's already out there, and you can pinch ideas. Okay, so what are you typing into that search engine? That's it, Sweeney Todd set design. You may need to add performance or theatre after it if it goes a bit weird. Okay, so Sweeney Todd set design. If you need a bit more, type in performance theatre. Okay, and have a look. So you do like a bird's eye view of a ground plan. Okay, on your sheet you can do a ground plan and kind of an end on plan as if you're sat as an audience member. Now if you decide to do a round or traverse or promenade, it might be a bit different being end on from the audience. Okay, so they will be the more challenging ones for those of you that really want to challenge yourselves. So that's what you're going to do. You're going to design a ground plan. Now those of you that want to challenge yourselves further, if you do, Now the set could be a lot of work, so if you want to spend sort of more time on it and spend next week on it, just email me and let me know. Obviously I'll still have to send out the lesson, but just let me know that you're a bit behind on the lessons, and that's okay. That's absolutely fine. All this stuff is for you to manage as and when, you know, you do it in your routines and when it's right for you and your families. Okay, so remember that. I don't want people stressing about it. Right, so minimum ground plan. Now, what you can do after they've done their ground plan, quite often, this is the challenge now, is to do a model box or a box set. Okay, you'll hear me call it a box set. So that was for Antigone by the National Theatre. Okay, so that was by for Antigone, Greek play. Let's put that there. Okay, Greek play. So you can do a box set. You could do if you wanted to do the box set and go a bit further into it and challenge yourself, what I would do is a mood board of different set designs that is out there on the internet, and have a look at different ideas. And I would really be thinking about how to communicate the themes and symbols. Okay, so we need to have a think at what the themes in Sweeney Todd are. All right, so we've got Sweeney Todd. He's doing a bad thing, yeah, because he's the demon barber of Fleet Street. He's killing people, but he's killing bad people, isn't he? Okay, so there we've got a bit of a debate going on. Okay, because he's what we call a anti-hero, because even though he's cleaning up the streets, okay, a bit like Deadpool, yeah, where Deadpool gets everything wrong and he's a little bit naughty, but his heart's in the right place, and that's like Sweeney Todd. Okay, so think, how can we get those themes? It's quite dark and quite gruesome, so how can we get that across? All right, and then you've got the Mrs. Lovett doesn't have children, but she really cares for the young lad whose name I've completely forgotten. She really cares for him. So there's that kind of theme, yeah, that even if it's, you know, you've got that mother-child bond, even if it's not someone that you're not biologically connected to, you can still have that caring nature, okay? And then obviously you've got the fact that they're eating the pies, and we know what's in the pies. So you can, if you want to challenge yourself, I would do a little mood board, helps focus your thoughts, okay? And I would have a go at a box set. Now, don't like stress your parents out or anything with the box set. This should be something that is fun, okay? As soon as it stops being fun, don't do it. Now, I've just got a box. I'm collecting a couple of these so that we've got them, because year 8, when you go into year 9, we're going to come back to all of this towards the end of the year. So I'm going to be making it, I'm collecting so I can make some box sets. I'm really sorry I didn't get round to it this week. I had loads of meetings and various bits and bobs. So here is a box, okay? I will cut the front off this so that you can look in that way, but you can also look down because I can put the lighting bars across. So you can create a box set. Just use cardboard. It doesn't have to be exact. It's got to be representative, okay? So what I would do is cut this off, and then this would be the bits that I make my set out of. If I haven't got any glue, then I wouldn't do it, okay? So do what you've got. Do not buy anything for this, okay? So year 8, that is what, that's our set design and our set design lesson that we're going to be doing. So I want you to do a bird's eye view ground plan of your design for Sweeney Todd. I want you to be thinking about how you can show that Victorian element in your set design. And I also want you to be thinking of, okay, different staging configurations. Okay, so I want you thinking of the different staging configurations. This is a cracking book, by the way, absolutely cracking. I will have this. This stays with me. This doesn't go anywhere. I don't loan this out. Okay, but really lovely book if anybody wants to come and have a look at it when we're back at school. Okay, whenever that is, who knows. But yeah, really good book, really good, brilliant book. So, and hope that's as clear as a muddy puddle. Bet you've all missed that phrase, haven't you? Okay, Year 8, hope you have a good week. Remember, okay, the most important thing is that you stay fit, well and healthy, and that isn't just physically, that's up here. Okay, so, you know, use this. I'm happy for you to use this as something to just, you know, you need to chill out for a bit. Yeah, there's no, even though the deadline's going to be Friday, that's just the deadline that we have to set. You know, if you want to take longer, just email me and let me know. All right. So that's that. So stay safe, stay healthy, keep washing your hands. Because remember, you lot are minging, so keep washing your hands. Make cups of tea, get drinks, get some beer, some Prosecco for the people at home who are looking after you. Look after them for a bit, they will love it. Okay, help them out. And I will see you all soon. Bye guys.